Okay, with your size 17 knitting needle, I want you to cast on 15 stitches. So let's make our slip knot. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 15. Turn it over. Okay, so for row 1, you're going to knit 1 and purl 1 all the way to the end of the row. Let's knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. And knit 1. Now for row 2, we're going to purl 1 and knit 1, and repeat all the way to the end. Purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. And purl 1. And this is what it should be looking like. Okay, you just keep repeating rows 1 and 2 until the rib section measures 6 inches, and you need to end with the row 2. So if it says 6 inches and you just ended row 1, you need to do 1 more. It'll be fine. Okay, now that your work measures 6 inches, remember we're going to start with a knit because we ended with row 2, right? Now we're going to do the braid section. So we need to get our size 13 double pointed needle, and we're going to knit 5 stitches onto it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're just going to be working with these stitches right now, but leave all of these on there. Okay, now we're going to do an I-cord. So let's leave our working yarn on the left side, put all of these stitches over to the right, and we're just going to knit. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we do the same thing, slide these stitches over. Remember, our working yarn's on the left, and that's perfectly fine. And now we knit. Okay, and then you're going to want to keep doing this for 6 inches. Alright, I'll see you in 6 inches. Okay, our first I-cord is 6 inches now. So, we're going to leave the stitches on the I-cord, but we're going to cut the tail. And we need to leave 4 inches of the tail. So, 4 inches. So let's just forget about that for a while. Now we're going to knit the middle stitches. So with our double pointed needle, we're going to knit 5 stitches off. Now we need some yarn, so let's get our yarn, and this is how I attach it. Oh, let's make sure that there's 4 inches. Let's put the yarn kind of like a loop like this, okay? And then we knit. Let's make sure that that's pretty tight so that doesn't fall. Oop. Okay. You just don't want it loose. 2. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to get another double point needle, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the first I-cord. We're going to knit 1. Make sure that these couple of stitches are kind of tight so it doesn't look loose. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Slide it over. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you keep doing this for 6 inches, and I think for my first I-cord, I knitted 24 rows. And then you also do the same thing. You cut the yarn at the end. But I'll show you that. Okay? See you at 6 inches. Okay, now for the third braid, you're going to do the exact same thing. Leave 4 inches as a tail. Okay, now do the exact same thing as you were doing with the first and middle cords, except at the end, do not cut your yarn. See you in 6 inches. Alright, so here's my 3 I-cords, and this is the one with the working yarn. Now we're going to braid them together. And then you put your size 17 needles through, starting this side here, and then put them here, all the way here, because this is your working yarn, okay? Start taking them off. And it's going to be tight putting it back on because our double pointed needles are size 13. Let's do our second one. And then our last one, make sure that the working yarn is at the end. Okay, so I have 6 of these braided sections, and I have 7 of these other sections. And now that I'm at the end, I'm going to bind off. I'm just going to use this smaller double pointed needle. So we knit 2. And then you take the first one over the second stitch. And we knit one, take the first stitch off over the second stitch. Knit one, pull the first one over, Alright, now we pull this string maybe around 4 inches again, and then I cut it, and then I pull this remaining yarn out and I tighten it, and there you go. Okay, now we've got a lot of these loose ends, right? We're going to have to weave them. Okay, and I normally do it on the wrong side, which is the right way. Sounds wrong, but it's right. So just kind of put it through. And then you go back. And then pull on it. And then cut. Okay, so keep doing all of these. Just put it on the wrong side so that the right side looks really nice. And then you're done.